Happy Friday, everybody. It's Christmas Eve, and even if you're not a celebrator of Christmas, it's still Christmas Eve. You're just not celebrating it. Happy Hanukkah. It is the 6th day of Hanukkah, if my math works for me. If it doesn't work, I'm sorry. What's everybody doing? While you're typing that, what's going on, Don? While you're typing that, I'm going to go grab my tablet. There we go. Now I'm prepared to work. Don, buddy, how is the blizzard of 22 treating you? Ovi has tied how? For those who are unaware, Don is stuck in the blizzard of 22. 70-mile-an-hour winds, feet of snow expected, Arctic temperatures, and it's supposed to go all the way until about Monday in some areas. As much as I love you, Don, I'm glad I don't live in Lockport anymore. 94 more goals, and he takes the record. 3 more years, Ice Wolf, and he takes the record. 13 degrees here in Va. Currently at 6:03 p.m. Pacific, it is in Santa Barbara. 59 degrees. What's going on, Lee? Yokai, how you doing? Lee jumping in with a party of 10. Lackawanna recorded a wind speed of 79 miles per hour. That is crazy for Buffalo. Saburos, how you doing? What's up, Brett? I told them you have G.I. Joe to share. Mandala, how are you, friend? Oh, I have G.I. Joe to share. I have lots of G.I. Joe to share. Arguably, I have, I have 20 G.I. Joe to share. And share I will. So as a lot of you know, all knowing is half the battle. We were able to work with Jamie Sullivan, and we were able to get some pretty interesting things. We're going to use Brent as an example. So, for those who don't know, let's get some focus here, shall we? Knowing is half the battle. And the hassle. But knowing is not the Hasselhoff. Because he is the all-knowing. And we can never know as much as him. Jamie Sullivan, a.k.a. Jay Sullivan, did the record-breaking IDW final issue of G.I. Joe. Over 300 characters appearing on one wraparound cover takes the record. Working with Jay, we got a bunch of books every single book autographed, and a few select ones remarked. Jay was actually surprised we were able to get our hands on 30 copies of his variant of the final cover. And then Mr. Sullivan gave us the original artwork for the characters, some of them, which we are passing along via this break. So this one was actually from yesterday. This one was Brent's. This is the 132nd character he did, Heavy Duty. And Heavy Duty in living color is right there. There he is. That's it. So not only do you get an autographed comic book with the possibility of a remark, you get the original art from the character on the record-breaking cover. Pretty dang cool. It's interesting to own a piece of history. And Brent and Dangle and many others have already grabbed theirs. So there you go. This one is out of 25. One lucky person is going to get both Duke and the Cobra Commander in theirs.
You know, it's very strange. I have been in the revenge business so long. Now that it's over, I don't know what to do with the rest of my life.
I would collect comic books and original art. There you go, if I were you. But that's me. The definition of a remark is where the artist will do a small drawing, typically a one-color drawing, unless you're Lee and is an overachiever and goes full paint mode on his remarks. But the average one is just a doodle or drawing on a cover in addition to the signature and the art that's already there. Lee, every single one, yes, has original art, the original art from the cover. They are one of one, they are unique, one of a kind, they are the only copies of the characters from the cover that was used to assemble the cover. This is something that is going to go into a collection and not come out. Quite frankly, these aren't things that are going to be probably resold. This is a collector's. I hate to use the term because it's lame, but it is an actual collector's item. I don't mean like, you know, you go to the Home Shopping Network and they're like, oh, collector's item. No, it's not that lame excuse for a collector's item. This is actually an item that a collector is going to be like, yeah, this is mine. It's not leaving. I own this, it's mine. My piece of history. Like my Neil Adams signed. Oh, Lee, you didn't get to see this yet. What do you mean I didn't get you anything? I did get you something. I told you. I didn't know you were going to be there yesterday, or else I would have brought it with me. Lee, how about this bad boy? Lee, tell me that is not one of the best, most clear examples of Neil's autograph you've ever seen. How dare you doubt Don West? Right, man? That is like, I've seen his signature. This is arguably one of the nicest examples of it I've seen. It is very clean. Like this will never leave my collection. So Jedi, what's going on? Hey, Bourbon. I see Bourbon, and then I'm like, I better. Bourbon probably ordered his own GI Joe because he wants in on this, and sure enough, there it is. All right, let's take a look at the random draw. Bourbon, lucky number 13. Lucky number 13. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I was stoked and fortunate to get it. Nick was very gracious in finding out that I was a HeroClix fan, remembering it was in stock, and then asking Joel Adams, Neil's son, hey, what do you say we sell this to DC? And Joel's like, yeah, we could do that, and giving me a great deal. So shout out to Joel Adams as well as our dear friend Nick. It's not -40 here tonight, so it's feeling tropical compared to yesterday. And how about that Buffalo weather to completely shut down Buffalo? That's nuts. Yeah, my family is telling me it is crazy in Buffalo right now. I am just barely below 60 degrees here in California. I used to play HeroClix competitively, and I used to be pretty dang decent at it too, Lee. All right, Bourbon has lucky number 13 out of 25. Let's get it. Congratulations! Lucky number 13 is exactly that. It is lucky. The question is, who did you get? And the other question is, since it's Bourbon, who did you want to get? Lee says, I may still have some Batman and Spider-Man HeroClix promo figures. I have like 400 or 500 characters from when I played, plus the larger ones. All right, well, congratulations means one of two things. Either you got a remarked comic or you got a well-named character, a star character. So let's see if you have the remark first. You do not have the remark. That leads me to believe. See, there it is. Just an autograph. I shouldn't say just an autograph. It's autographed but not remarked. That leads me to believe that you've got a named character. He said, well, the Baroness is already gone, but it is possible that you could get Scarlet. And the reason I'm saying that is because, hey, buddy, you got the redhead. You've got Scarlet. I'm not going to lie. I am a fan of Scarlet because I'm a fan of red hair. There you go, man. Congratulations. Front and center. Miss Scarlet. Bourbon's like, Scarlet or Baroness? Okay, and it's exactly what he asked for. That is why Bourbon plays the game. He's like, that's hilarious. He's like, it's going to be one of those two. Yeah, it was. And considering Baroness was pulled 2 days ago, the only one he really asked for is the one that was there. Scarlet awakened a lot of things in a lot of people. I've always loved red hair. I can tell you my affinity for red hair, I believe, came from Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. I think I can link my my love of redheads to Julia. Ice Wolf. Ice Wolf. I was under the impression that you weren't able to do it. That you were like, no, I need to be good. I can't have this amazing collectible. I have a good feeling about 21. I have no self-control. You know what, sir? There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's original art, there's nothing wrong with that. 21 of 25 goes to Ice. He's got a fever. And the only prescription is more Joe. Are you planning to have any graded in the not so distant future? I am going to be grading some comic books. I'm probably going to go CBCS because it's signatures. Lee said those two insane G.I. Joe projects I was working on were approved by Hasbro. I think one will be released at MCityCon and the other one at Comic-Con San Diego. I'll be at Comic-Con San Diego. All right, Ice Wolf. Good luck, homie. See what you got. Oh, Ice Wolf. You, sir. What's up, Hellbolt? I love you, man. You, sir, have a gift. You have a gift. What's up, Chef? Ice Wolf said, I have a feeling about number 21, and I have no self-control. Well, Ice Wolf, you just won something that we have not really been advertising as much as we should have, because we wanted it to be somewhat of a surprise. This right here. Now you're going to ask, why do you have a picture of the cover? What's up, Dangle? Why do you have a picture of the cover, DC? Well, Ice Wolf, before I even open this, we're going to leave it right here. We're going to leave this right here. But I need to get the big camera out, because this is your bonus. Limited to only 100 hand signed and hand numbered that print is yours, signed in gold and silver. Yours is numbered 6 out of 100. Not only is it signed by Jamie, but there is another autograph in gold in the lower left-hand corner. Six out of a hundo. So there you go. Dangle's like, first thing my wife said to me after work was, you got another package today? So there you go, man. But now, obviously, that's not it. Here is your mini version of the poster, also signed by the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Sullivan. The other autograph on there is the designer of the poster, BT Dub. I just don't have the person's name off the top of my head because I'm a terrible host. And your character is the Cobra Sub Viper. Bourbon, thank you. He said, finally got around to looking at some of the Vaulton covers today, DC. It's amazing stuff. I agree. We don't mess around here. There he is. He is on the back. I'm simply not going to open your comic book and dig around for him. But he's back there. There he is. I got some cold stares by people opening this yesterday and the day before. So I'm not going to do it. So there you go, man. Autographed comic. Dual autographed and numbered print out of 100. And the original character from both. Would you be willing to get that one graded for me when you send it in with your batch next? DM me, Ice Wolf. We'll chat. There you go, Ice Wolf. Congratulations. Goodness gracious, you guys are blowing up my phone. It's not a bad thing. All right, there we go. So yes, that as Lee wanted, that is the G.I. Joe exclusive item. So we were able to contact Jamie Sullivan. I'll just call him Jay Sullivan because it's easier. We got to contact Jay Sullivan in regards to the cover. He was very gracious to meet us at LACon. He said, if you can get the copies of my variant, I'll happily sign and remark some for you. And we did. We were able to hook up with him, get those signed, and he was amazed by the sheer number that we had of them. He was able to get us quite a few of the well-named characters from the cover as well, including the Duke and the Cobra Commander, which are massive. As well as Scarlet, Baroness, and some others that I'm not going to mention, but very stoked. No one has pulled the Duke and the Cobra Commander yet. In that box, you're going to get both of them. You get two. We didn't want to split up the pair. We thought it would be doing a disservice to the artwork and to you, the collector. So even though those were combined the two most expensive pieces to this puzzle, there was a couple that individually went higher. But as a pair, that is the single most expensive box in the run. They were not cheap to come by. Let's just call a spade a spade. And we figured it would just, why risk two different people getting them and not wanting to trade? Let's put them together. Let's bite the bullet and let's just throw them both in one. That's what we did. And it was actually Doug's idea. Doug's like, we can't separate these. And Trevor and I were like, yeah, you can't do that. So that's how that happened. That's going to be massive when that comes out. Whoever gets that is, what's up, Kayla? How you doing? Whoever gets that is absolutely killing it. Um, Speaking of something pretty, we got some artwork in for a little project that's going to be launched in a few weeks. And I am going to straight up say it out loud again. Kayla killed it. Killed it. It was a bunch of gawking and staring yet again. Busy, busy? Good. Busy's good. What's up, Paul? What did you miss? You missed a couple of G.I. Joes, including the big poster giveaway. That is true. That is true. I have worn a kilt before, and they are very freeing, especially if you wear them the way they're designed to be worn. I won't get into details, but yes, wearing a kilt is extremely comfortable and very freeing, and just a touch naughty. As is Scarlet. Yes. Well, Ice Wolf. Surprise, surprise, we put 2 in the break. So one other lucky person is going to get the dual signed numbered poster print out of 100. That's what I'm saying. So there is Bourbon's pulled Scarlet, so Scarlet is gone. Scarlet and Baroness, the 2 babes from the Joes, are gone. So it is a sausage fest for the rest of the break. But the good news is there is, I believe, 2 more remarks. It's either 1 or 2 more remarks, 1 more poster, and then the dual Duke and Cobra Commander hit as well. Designed to be worn. Does that share a name with an Arnie movie? Hello, hello, hello. You haven't shared art for the next thing yet. I don't think I have. I don't even. So, Doug and Trevor are getting very good at learning how to work with me. They are now hiding artwork so that I can't do spoilers on camera. Here's what. Here's what I'm going to do. If you guys give me 30 to 60 seconds of you just staring at what's behind me, I am going to see if I can break into the office, the museum next door, and I'm going to see if they may have left some of the art. They don't leave it with me in the studio. They don't, because they know I'm going to spoil. Let me see. Bear with me. All right, everybody, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to give you a topic. Let's say CBCS versus CGC. Go. I told you. I actually think Trevor took it to his house with him. That is how far away they keep the art from me, knowing that I am going to spoil the upcoming projects. Sneak peeks like Elaine's Christmas card? Nobody wants to see my boobs. Yeah, so you can blame Trevor. Trevor is one who takes photos of all of the art and creates the graphic design. But I think he likes to like at different intervals during the day, I think he takes all of the art that we get and he hugs it because it's so good. He just wants to hug it. Ninja. I got something in the well, yes, happy Christmas Eve. I got something in the mail for you. It just arrived finally today. I will be sending that out to you next week, which means you will get it in about 2.5 weeks. You made a Christmas card out of the Jewish elf you painted for the holiday break. You're welcome, Ninja. It's from that note I gave you. It just took a little while for the little guy to get here. So I finally got it in hand. You know what, Bourbon? The code word would be mythology. That's the code word. Lee Cozy, I just finished your twerking Jawa. I don't care, Lee. If it is for Saga, you better share that with everybody. I feel like you've opened a whole door to Pandora's box, not the lid, just a door, because Jawas are tiny. And I think now everybody in chat's going to be thinking about twerking Jawas. Hendrix Neptuna Gin. I'm a fan of alcohol, not a heavy drinker. Honestly, truth be told, I really only drink when I'm on camera. But did you know, as a former wine and spirits specialist, gin is the alcohol that is the most difficult for your body to process. Tequila is actually one of the easiest, believe it or not. Stream time is drink time. I found a bottle of Godiva liquor buried under my G.I. Joe cards. I drank far too much wine with tapas last night. Hey, Ninja, it's okay. As long as you do it responsibly, you get home okay, call a cab or an Uber or whatever. Or a Ninja, I just envisioned you being like, oh, too drunk to drive, mate, and just jumping on a kangaroo. Or in your case, you're small. You jumped on a wallaby and you rode a wallaby home, didn't you? Ninja, I am envisioning you riding a wallaby home. And there's nothing you can say that's going to make me change it. That is how the Aussies drink responsibly. They ditch the keys, they throw the keys in the kangaroo pouch, and they ride kangaroos home. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean MacArthur, who is also going to be in an upcoming couple of upcoming items that we're doing. And his work is fire for both of those. You know, I don't want to give anything away because, you know, I'm not supposed to do spoilers. But man, Sketch Ghoul, your Saw Gerrera is dope as hell. Just saying. I just don't want to give anything away. What's up, lady? Hello, lady. Jumping on a kangaroo. This is how to enter a room. Yeah, it's exactly how Ninja entered the room today, or to her room yesterday, last night. She's like, I have a kangaroo on standby. Throwing drop bears behind them like it's an Aussie version of Mario Kart. So Paul's like, spoil all things. So I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna do my friend Joe and Ninja, my Aussie friends, a disservice by talking about the reality of drop bears because it's too funny to just let it go. I will tell you, it's not the drop bears you would have to worry about. It's the magpies during nesting season dive bombing your skull and trying to implant their beak in your brain. I'd be more worried about that. I never said anything about Star Wars. I did not say anything about Star Wars. I simply said his Saw Gerrera is amazing. Everything in, you know, it's funny. Australia has ants that basically sting you with their mouth, but they have bees that don't have stingers. How is Australia one of the only continents on the planet to have stingless bees, but the ant will take off the tip of your finger? Before I die, I do want to get to Australia. Just like something has always called me to California and now I live here, I don't know if it's Paul Hogan or Nicole Kidman, but something calls me to Australia, and I think I have to go there. Horrible biting flies, that's what I've heard. Nothing will beat twerking Jawas, Chef said. Hellbolt, I wish you a wonderful holiday and Merry Christmas. Gigantic flying cockroaches. Yeah, we have those in Florida too. Yeah, but Australian bees carry baseball bats. All right. Icewolf says, I've technically been to Australia. Someday I hope to visit the actual continent. Texas got big ones too. I mean, flying cockroaches, palmetto bugs. Everything's bigger in Texas. Chef, lady, you guys can leave that up to your interpretation. But everything's bigger in Texas, they say. Gotta go to a shindig at the embassy in DC when they donated a diamond to the Smithsonian. I'm starting to believe that Icewolf is an international diamond thief. Hold up. Let me give you my evidence here. Icewolf travels all over the world at any given time. He's in Amsterdam, or flying through and over Australia, or somewhere in Europe. The man knows how to cut and polish stones. We've seen the artwork. We know he can do it. Now I believe Icewolf is an international diamond thief. He steals large gemstones, recuts and shapes them, and sells them on the black market, or embeds them in custom cards, and that is how he gets them through state lines. I am now certain Icewolf is an international gem thief. I don't think there's anything you can do to change my mind. Next thing we know, DC disappears. If I disappear, it's the Icewolf cartel. I mean, it's in his name. Icewolf, exactly. He goes, where do you think the name came from? He's the Ice Wolf. He steals the ice, aka diamonds, recuts them, distributes them, and makes a killing. Kevin P. was like, delete this vid. Ice Wolf is the real nefarious Indiana Jones. Chef says, accept me, I'm just short, round, and bald. I'm kind of like Dobby now. I just need a sock. I'm round and bald, but I'm 6 feet, so I can't say I'm short. So we're saying Ice Wolf is the Pink Panther. Yeah. That's why his name is pink on my screen. Oh, you people are crazy. Get rid of this. I'm the man the most interesting man in the world was based on. Kevin P. West says, I'm shaving my head and I'm changing my appearance, giving myself a nasty scar. DCD seems to have a minimum height requirement to be in management. Yeah, I'm the shortest person in DCD Collects, and I'm 6 foot. I'm also the youngest at age 42. Derek said, I do need to get a new stone for my wife's ring. I'm glad I know a guy. Something Pretty says, oh my God, either she's thinking about Kevin P. West shaving his head, or she's enamored with height and is getting warm thinking about all of DCD Collects being over 6 feet. Kevin's like, so they call you tiny. Yeah, I'm tiny. I'm the baby. I'm 42 and only 6 foot. I could be swaddled by the rest of the company. Kayla, how tall are you? She's like, you guys are all tall. So it was. She was getting warm thinking about our height. Five, 4.5. You know she's really 5'3" if she has to say 4.5. But Kevin's like belt height. You're a chin rest. It's more like an elbow rest. I could stand next to you and just set my arm on the top of your head. Sean, yeah, Sketch School is 5'11". Yep. Sketch School is 5'11". If you ever want to see Sean, he hung out with me. Lady's 5'2". Her shortest kid is 5'11". Paul said, to quote Fat Bastard from Austin Powers, Christ, you're tiny, like a baby. Sorry, I didn't warm up my Scottish accent. That was my on-the-fly Scottish accent. Oh yeah, the thing about this Scottish accent, it's got to come from the back of your throat. So Lady is Chef's wife. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's the one that authorizes Chef to do Chef things. Just like Mrs. the Breaker authorizes me to do everything. Paul is 6'2". I feel like this is like the old school AOL chat rooms. ASL. What's your height? Yeah, I'm 6'5", 22 years old, and I'm handsome. I look like Fabio, but handsomer. Your management team. Lee's like, cool, I only know her from lurking on my stream, so I was just jazzed to see her here too also. I mean, Lee, not, our entire group is not also your entire group. We do have one or two people that you may not have. That explains the comment on my stream today. Sorry, lady, didn't mean to blow up your spot. Apparently nobody knew who you were. I thought you gave enough context clues over the last like 2 weeks. Ice Wolf says I'm 6'2", but I have the ability to make huge celebrities look normal sized, like John Rhys Davis or Dave Bautista or Ron Perlman. KP West is like, I'm only 5'9". I need to have a couple more neck fusions to catch up. You can do the new shin thigh thing where they can add up to 6 inches. Sounded better in my head. It's actually really crazy how they do it. They lengthen you 1 millimeter a day over the course of like 6 weeks. So it's excruciatingly painful, they say. Oh, Dangle, she is. Have you ever tried to order around a Submariner? No, I never made the rank. Both of you will get that joke. Don's like 6'4", but I'm the size of 2 people. Don, the only thing that is the size of 2 people is your heart. You have the heart of 2 people. Maria loves when we meet pro wrestlers, but they are smaller than I am. All right, here's what we do. We get really long trench coats, and I carry you on my shoulders. There you go, Kevin P. West. Paul Maitland is hooking you up with height. The old child in a trench coat trick. I love it. Speaking of Ron Perlman, you guys may have seen this. Lee was nice enough to get Ron to sign my fist and actually inscribe it Hellboy. Now I just need to get someone to paint it. Look more like Master Blaster. He's like, well, that looks familiar. I hope so. You had to lug that thing around for a week. What kind of paint? I don't know. Originally I had this idea. I had this great. I'll tell you what the idea was. So my original idea was to have him sign it either here or knuckle deep on the fist. And then I was going to have different artists do a comic version of Hellboy. Like obviously because of the surface, throw on a little primer for lack of a better term. And then have like 3 different depictions of Hellboy by 3 different artists. But, Kevin, he inscribed it Hellboy in the middle. Now, I'm not angry. Because that's amazing. So now I think I got to narrow it down to 2. Maybe a comic book likeness here and the Perlman movie likeness here. But it will be, art framing the, and they can even go, here too. Technically you could do the heads and the bodies below the line. I don't know. This would just make the little ridge right here. This ridge. The ridge makes it difficult. So yeah, it's a pronounced ridge, but that's the idea. I have so many projects going on, that I just haven't gotten to finish this one yet. But that's a SIG. So I thought that would be a really cool, different, unique, one-of-a-kind piece by having the man, the myth, the legend sign it and then somebody paint it. Or 2 artists collab and both of them paint it. I like the outside of the box items. That's my thing. Speaking of outside of the box, the project that Something Pretty and Sketch School and Kaiser and Paul are part of. We just came up with a real outside of the box item to put with the art to make it extremely unique. And Doug picked them up today. Could I draw a Perlman Hellboy on plastic? I mean, Paul, I've seen your work. I wouldn't put anything past you. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, Kevin P. West, you are one of the people that I thought of for one of those panels, by the way. He's like, yes, I want to hear this idea. Paul, I'll DM you. Lee's like, I would use paint personally. The problem is now I know so many artists, I feel like I offend the other artists if I don't choose them for my personal works. So I'm trying to think of projects for each of you to do for me so nobody feels like they're being left out. Paul Maitland, I am going to send you a DM. I am going to ask that you don't share it, but since you're in... All right, sent. Whoops. That is, yes, that is your warning. I don't think any of my, there you go. We just moved it up the thing fast enough. It's all good. It happens. You know, what's odd is I'm surprised my Twitch filter didn't catch that. Because I do have a Twitch filter on. So I'm going to yell at Twitch. Nah, you won't offend us. We just try to keep it family friendly. You guys moved the chat up fast enough that it didn't linger too long. A wheel or a dartboard with everybody's names on it. Yeah, right? Seriously. So Paul, pretty cool idea, right? Let me, All right, let me find... All right, Kayla, you know too now. Now you know. You have an Obi-Wan piece I did that several people voiced their anger since it's no longer available. So no offense if I'm left out. I will just give the angry people your address. I do. For those who don't know, Lee made an amazing Obi-Wan Kenobi that he did the pencil work for the preliminary so that he could create his paintings. And I happened to be on a chat. Yes, I DM'd you in Instagram, Kayla, to tell you what the idea that we decided was, just so that you would be in the know. And we were in a meeting, and he was working on it while in the meeting. So for those who don't have the pleasure of being able to Zoom with Lee, Zooming with Lee is exactly like watching his stream, because he uses the same camera setup. So while we're Zooming with him about work ideas, he's working, he's painting at the same time. So we are often Zooming, and he is, anything that he's allowed to show, he doesn't do. Obviously, like anything he's under contract for, he does not do in front of us. But the things that he's working on a stream, he'll also be doing while talking to us. And he was working on this beautiful Obi-Wan Kenobi with Vader in the background. And we're like, Lee, what is that? It's freaking amazing. And he said, oh, I'm doing this. And he explained what it was. And I said, oh, well, what are you going to do with the original pencil? He's like, I don't know. I'll just probably sell it. And I was just like, how much? And he said, blah, blah, blah. I said, sold. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, no, I'll take it. He's like, oh, okay. He goes, my one condition is you have to let me bring it to Comic-Con with me because people need to see it because it's great. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll collect it after Comic-Con. I don't have it with me. I don't keep it in the office. That is at home. But it is amazing. It is awesome. And now I'm trying to track down a live event in the area that I can get Ewan McGregor to sign it now. I am hell-bent on having Ewan sign it. And if I can get Hayden, that would be great too, or even James Earl Jones. Which I have a better shot at Hayden. I would love to get them to sign it. So that is another piece that I'm working on getting all the pieces together for. I've got a lot of interesting ideas in my brain for collectibles, for at least my private collection. All right, I got to grab another water. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Lee says, my private collection includes an unfinished Hellboy painting signed by Ron Perlman. Someday I need to finish that. Yeah, I would recommend finishing it. Although the story behind it does make it pretty cool being unfinished. That was actually the same event that you got the fist signed at. I'd like to do a big Punisher piece and get it signed by John Bernthal. I am going to admit he's literally the only Punisher I haven't seen. I know he's arguably the best Punisher. Everybody tells me he's fantastic. I just haven't gotten to it. I've seen all the other ones, including Dolph Lundgren. Oh, he is fan. That's what everybody says. Everybody says he's absolutely fantastic. I just haven't gotten to it. Paul's like, oh no! He was just thinking about the Thomas Jane, he says. What, you're not a Dolph Lundgren fan? Iso's like, he's a nice guy. I was floored that I stood in line to get a friend an auto and didn't want one for myself. Oh, he was floored that I stood in line to get a friend an auto and didn't want one for myself. Oh, I forgot to show it on stream, but I got my H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival posters. Oh, nice. Those are going to be hot. If he dies, he dies. I have an unhealthy affinity for Dolph Lundgren. Do I have my Dolph here? I don't. I don't because it's at home. next to my bed. I believe all of my Dolph Lundgren figures and art are at my house. I am allowed to keep Dolph Lundgren next to my bed. Mrs. The Breaker has a big picture of an autographed photo of Jeff Goldblum next to her side of the bed. Paul's like, I'm sorry, I think Thomas Jane's Punisher would have fit in the MCU perfectly. No, Thomas Jane did great. Ninja said, I did my yearly tradition and went to see Die Hard at the movies last night. There you go, because it's a Christmas movie. Excuse me. The silhouetted Dolph Punisher, not so much. Oh man, it never gets old. It's true, it's great. OMG, I love Jeff. You and my wife, so I got my wife a few years ago. I wanted to get her an autograph of Jeff Goldblum because she loves him, especially like open shirt across the table, Jurassic Park, Dr. Ian stuff. And I wanted to get one that I could put in a gaudy frame and have it just be the essence of feeling. So I tried to find a photograph of him just staring lovingly. And I managed to find a black and white of him just looking lovingly out at the camera. And then he signed it. And she like every time she looks at it, you can see her face get flush. All right, Hellboat, love you, man. Take care, be safe. She's like, I'm not that into him in that way. I just love his eccentricities and mannerisms. His work is rad. She just thinks he's the handsomest thing since me. I'm trying not to freeze. Layers, man, but not too many layers. It's a slippery slope. You want to wear layers, but you don't want to wear so many layers that you sweat, because your sweat will actually cool you off. So you got to find the fine line. Oh, I love water. Oh, what else are we talking about? Oh, so we went to I'd cast Mirko Cro Cop as Punisher. Sepulros, there's only going to be you, me, and maybe 5 people in the chat that know who Mirko Cro Cop is. Mirko Cro Cop probably was a real-life Punisher. For those who don't know, Mirko Cro Cop was a Croatian special elite police force person who turned into an MMA fighter. And he was, like he says, a 100% a real-life Punisher. That guy was known for literally kicking people's legs in half. He would kick you and you would blow out your knee or break your femur or shatter your chin. The guy was nuts. The problem was he started really late in life because he already had a career as an anti-terrorist murderer a terrorist murderer, being it that he was on the anti-terrorism squad for Croatia. So he was busy killing people, and then he decided to take a break from murdering terrorists and fight MMA. Spoilers, he was good at it. I had someone big into fighting games watch a highlight reel of him. Turns out Cro Cop head kicks faster than video game characters. Yeah, I followed Mirko. Mirko was when I was in deep in MMA. It's when I was actually training amateur MMA was when Croatian Christopher Lee, yeah. When I was training amateur, Mirko, Cheek Congo, one of my personal favorites, Orlovsky, that's when those guys were fighting. If you count the frames, Mirko is faster. He was a monster. The dude's like had legs like tree trunks, and his shins were like katanas. Yeah, look up Mirko Krokop. And you'll see everything you need to know. The guy was a walking highlight reel. The problem was, and the reason he lost a decent amount of matches, is if you could get through his first round of kicks, he did slow down in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Stare downs were legendary. So he's like the real life Brian Fury. He's like the real life murderer of actual terrorists. I'm not speaking in what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not speaking in hyperbole. The man literally killed Eastern European terrorists for a living, and then decided, I'm going to take a break and kick people in the face for a living. And he made a good living doing it. I'm not being hyperbolic at all. Hyperbolic, like the Chamber. Yeah, the dude was just great. In his prime, he was unbeatable. He would just kick your head off. But no, it's okay. It's safe for work. Mirko Krokop highlights. And I mean, if I don't think I'm allowed to legally show them because the UFC sues anybody with a pulse because they have giant egos and small. Anyway, or else I would throw highlights on right now. I got to figure out the legality of me looking at highlights on Twitch because I've seen other Twitchers or Twitchies or whatever y'all prefer to be called doing commentary over that stuff. I don't want to risk it. The biggest issue is VODs being saved. That's true. If it's live, they'll never catch you. If it's saved, it's over. And because of what we do, we have to save our videos on multiple platforms. And I'm also live to YouTube, and YouTube would shut that down real quick. Yeah, what a life. What a life that taking a vacation would be fighting MMA professionally. I'm tired. I need a rest. I'm going to join the UFC. That should give me some relaxation. What's up, Craig? McGahee. I have met Willis McGahee. Willis McGahee was a University of Miami running back who broke his leg so violently in the championship game that it was literally dangling at the end of his leg. And he was still drafted by the Bills that year, and they held him until he got his leg fixed. He did insure his legs for, I think, $1 million. It was actually, I can tell you what it was. He got it. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick. And he insured it for, I want to say it was like $250,000 or $500,000 per draft position outside of his prospective spot. Which ended up being a few million bucks. Yeah, I don't think it was a flat fee. I think it was her projected draft position. Goodness. You want to talk about worst injuries you recall seeing? The worst injury I have ever seen in my life live on television. Clint Malarchuk, goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, took a skate high under his mask and slit his carotid artery live on television. Lifted up his mask and was just spurting blood on the ice until somebody ran over to him from the Sabres bench, took their fingers, reached into his throat, pinched his carotid artery, and helped carry him off the ice. He was so close to death that they thought he was done. He survived. That happened live. Lee says, I forgot to tell you about my doctor's visits today. You did forget. Marcus Lattimore's knee injury was nasty. I remember seeing the highlight. Silva and Weidman's legs, or even the Notorious. His leg break was gross. Sid Vicious in the WCW jumping off the top rope. I saw that one too. Yeah, the Malarchuk one was nasty. When Conor McGregor broke his leg and then stepped on it and it folded underneath him, that was gross. I just got the best compliment. Well done, very Drew Struzan. Take care, Ice Wolf. Love you, buddy. Happy holidays, man. Heath Miller. I don't think I saw that one. Paul George. Yep. Yeah, the Malarchuk one was nasty. So here's a morbid fact. Only 2 times in the history of the NHL has a player had their throat slit by a skate on the ice. Both of those times were in Buffalo. Both of those players survived. That's it, Richard Zednik. Yep. He skated mostly to the bench. He collapsed at the door. But thankfully, because of the Malarchuk injury, it was actually being taught what to do in case of that happening. The crazy thing about Zednik is when he was skating, every time he would skate a step, a squirt would come out and spray on the ice. And something you may not know about blood and ice, when blood hits the ice, it bounces. It's true. So he was skating and these bounces of blood were doing it. Harden has a triple-double tonight. We back, baby. His color was draining from it. Yeah, they showed it on ESPN. Yeah, he collapsed right at the door of the bench, and their guy did the same thing, grabbed the carotid artery. My brother was actually at the hospital as a security guard, and he was the one that was assigned to the door. He had to stand in front of the door and let nobody in or out. And he said Zednik's wife showed up. And he said, whoa, man, it was crazy. Like, she was panicked. She's bawling. She shows up. He's like, it was so intense, man. She's like losing it. The kid's there. And he's like, and I got to tell you, she was the hottest woman I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, that is your takeaway? Your takeaway is his wife is the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life? I was like, tell me about her. Heath Miller almost had to have his leg amputated. He was playing for the Bears at the time. He held onto the ball, so the TD counted. Ovi got 802. Yep. Alex Smith's original injury was bad. It was the infection that was worse. Because he was like gangrenous. Yeah, he lost his leg due to infection afterwards. I think he got a hefty sum from the doctor, too. I think they got them for malpractice because they screwed up fixing him. I remember Heath Miller. He was the tight end, right? It's funny, my screen just popped up. Blizzard, it's snowing now. Not realizing my screen is, my computer's still registered for Lockport. There we go. Dan Boyle getting hit by Max Lapierre was scary. Thought Boyle broke his neck. That was like Don Beebe, who actually didn't break his neck, but he broke his collarbone. Joe Theismann's injury is so mild in the grand scheme of things now. Yeah, it ended his career. Yeah, it snapped in half and the bone was like sticking out. But now, like, you're seeing that so frequently, things just breaking on television. I'm almost desensitized compared to Joe Theismann, which is actually pronounced Theismann. But because of the Heisman Trophy, accepts it being pronounced Theismann. Just like Tyrod Taylor's name isn't Tyrod. It's pronounced Tyrod. But he's too kind, too nice to correct anybody. The is man. The is man. Heath Miller was a tight end for the Bergs. Zach Miller was a tight end for the Bears. Igor Larionov hit by Pete Forsberg. I remember that one. Yeah. Yep. That's like the streamer. I'm going to do it. Pokemane, but everyone says it's Pokemane. Pokimane. I don't know. Anything with pokey in it, I'm already disinterested. Pokimane. Yeah, I'm going to call him Pokimane. Sounds good to me. Pokemane. That's what I'm going with. I will just troll him on his site and say, you're Pokemane. Claude Lemieux didn't turtle. He got punched by McCarty with his glove on. One of my favorite checks of all time in hockey. R.J. Umberger got absolutely lit up. And it was a clean hit. And he was knocked into this century. Was it Jay McKee? I thought it was Campbell. It wasn't Soupy? I used to hang out with a bunch of the Sabres when I was in the nightclub industry. Um, I thought it was Soupy that hit him. Posted a doctor note on Discord. Have fun with that one, DC. What do I hope for Christmas? Peace on earth, goodwill toward man. Lee, that's spectacular. It was Soupy. Okay. I mean, for those who are wondering, Brian Campbell's nickname amongst the players was Soupy. Because Campbell, soup, Soupy. I would like to take this moment to say Scott Stevens is a turd. Oh, yeah, I know. We're real creative hockey players. I will tell you, of all the professional athletes I've ever met, hockey players tend to be the most coolest, down to earth, realist dudes. They do. I've met a lot of football players that were full of themselves. I've met a lot of professional wrestlers that were full of themselves. I've met a couple of baseball players, but they were minor leaguers. They were cool. But the hockey players are like I'm gonna have a beer with them. Forsberg on Draper, he said, my bad. When Soupy hit RJ Umberger, they literally made a highlight video in Buffalo, and it's simply known as the hit. Because once you say, oh man, did you see the hit? Everyone knows what you're talking about in Buffalo. All right, Dango, love you, brother. Merry Christmas, buddy. Paul Korea. It's good. There is a story from someone that was on the team bus after the game, and Stevens pretty much said, he's lucky I didn't kill him because I could have. So Stevens can poop off. Yeah, I mean, there's some goons that, I mean, Matthew Barnaby is not a good human being. There's a lot of enforcers that weren't good people, but it's a small slice. I mean, that's like Ndamukong Suh is a dirty player. Not a season goes by that he doesn't do something awful. But it's a small sample size. I hope he stubs his toe on every door jam. All right, Chef, take care, buddy. See you later, lady. So you know what? Honestly, I've been live for about an hour and a half. I am going to. We're going to do a raid, but we're going to do a raid. Hear me out before you leave. We're going to raid Data Dave. That was a gentleman that I raided a few weeks ago. He's doing a charity stream. So the reason we are going to raid is because of his charity stream. He is doing Lego building. He is doing a Lego building charity stream. So we are going to head over there and we are going to watch. He's trying to raise $500 for Secret Santa charities. He's halfway there. So I am going to. We're gonna jump over after I say goodbye, and we're gonna join Data Dave's charity stream because I've got nothing else. But the important thing I do have is my undying, unbridled love for each and every one of you. It is a difficult week for a lot of people. While there is a lot of merriment, what's up, Motley? Well, there is a lot of merriment in the holiday season. It can come with a lot of depression as well. As Hellbolt had said earlier, it is also Mental Health Awareness Week. So be sure to reach out to friends and family and make sure everyone's doing well. Wish them the best. And take care of yourselves and each other so that we can do this again next week. Now, I will be here all next week. And by that, I mean Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday live. So we are going to do this. I hope all of you get exactly what you want from your Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Festivus, or whatever you celebrate. Because you're all great people and you all deserve it. So please take care of yourselves. And we can do this again. I am fortunate and excited that you've spent as much time as you have with me. Let's do it again next week. With that said, let's go raid for a good cause. All right, everybody, take care, be safe, and happy holidays.